So, you're live. Okay, everybody, I don't know if you can hear me. Shh, I'm on live, people. I'm on live. Live. Okay, so. Alright, let's see what other things can be done here. Share. See, share. Let's see how I'm going to do share. I can share Google Plus. Hello. What's up, Kenster? You gonna do some sub for sub? Go ahead and sub me, and I'll sub you back, bro. You know how it goes. Let's see. I have to go into the new connection. When you guys come in, let me see what happens. Is I don't remember subbing to you, but it's okay. I'm staying sub. You're staying sub? Okay. Let me log into because I just literally turned this on. So I'm gonna go ahead and log back in and check if I. What's up, people? Let me turn this down. Sorry, I turn this off a little bit. Okay, so let me go to my chats. I'm using my phone right now to see. This is like an old. I'm gonna put I'm here, but this seems like an older chat. How could they both be working? Let's see. Let me close this out. Close this out. And okay. Now I'm in the right one. Okay. Boom. Okay. I don't remember subbing to you, but it's okay. I'm staying sub. Okay. All right, Kenster. I'm gonna go ahead and go to your channel. And yeah, bro. Look, let me show you right now. Hold up. We're gonna type in Kent Stir I sub you already. Okay, I subbed you already. And yeah, so I'm here. Okay, so let's keep that on. Anybody else new come in here? Okay, I'm gonna use this, put the phone to charge. And let me see what we got here. So we got that there. Alright. So, anyways, I'm Jose from Truth TV News. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta go put my iWatch to charge. In the meantime, what I'll do to keep you a little entertained, I'll go ahead and use this phone right here, and I'm gonna let me see if I can find something cool for you can watch. Let's go with RT, and let me see. Sub ya Jengster. Cool. Show the love, guys. Show the love. Show the love. Let's see what we got here. Latest news. Alright, I'm going to leave you here with a picture of the, I guess I'll call these people with the Goon Squad. I don't know, just like the brightness. Why does not? See, it's just like bad quality. Oh, that's right, I forget. See. How about this? Maybe I can. No, I can't play music. I'm trying to think, what could I do? See, now it's just saying poor connection again. Let me put my phone to watch. Charge up. Be right back. Alright, how are my stats here, people? How are my stats? To make friends. I'm staying legit, sorry. But I'll chat. It's kind of weird. It's paradox. What? Let's see. So, everybody introduce yourselves and see where you guys are from.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go work on the grill. So what I'm gonna do here is let's see here. Let's see here. Not this.
Really?
Let her go. Let her go. No, let her go. I'm live. Let her go. Go away. Go away.
Come on, Molly.
Okay, live. This seems to have a big delay.
Look, we all know we should save and invest, but most of us don't. So to make it easier for you, we created Stash. Let's say each week,
UN sanction against North Korea for testing
thumbing
HBM.
their nose at the Americans, which they love to do and they will always do because they see us as a geopolitical foe. Plus, they've got this sort of unholy alliance with Iran and North Korea that they feed each other, support each other as with a shared adversary of the United States.
The problem, just quickly, is that China is never going to do exactly what the United States wants it to do because it's got a vested interest in propping up the North Korean regime for financial reasons, if nothing else. Something like 75% of North Korea's food is imported from China.
Yeah.
Without that business...
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We are waiting for a briefing from senior administration officials. It's going to be audio only. We'll bring that to you just as soon as we get it. We'll be right back.
Do you know which investment could be your best performer this year? Stocks, real estate, bonds? None of the above. It's silver.
All this shit always has commercials. Let's try, let's watch the enemy's channel. Let's see what the bad...
It's shockingly relevant. You know, they didn't have to change that much. They didn't need to update that much. And you see people in handmaids costumes from the show wandering around at protests, and it's relevant, but it's also, the performances are wonderful and it's beautiful. And our number one show, though, was Big Little Lies. You know, we talked about this a lot as the staff, but the show is... It's another show that kind of transcended what you'd expect from the material. You'd think it would be this trash exploitation series, but the acting is phenomenal. It was a beautiful, beautiful series to watch.
This was HBO, right?
HBO, yeah. And all of these you can stream. HBO, Big Little Lies, of course, is on HBO Go. You can check out Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, and Better Call Saul will end up on Netflix. Right now you can purchase it on Amazon, but if you want to watch any of those, I highly recommend them this weekend.
And there are a few others on here that people might know. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which people love.
Love it.
Dear White People, which not everybody might know about, but also a really interesting sort of topical series came out of, I think, YouTube, right? Did she come out of YouTube? Or
yeah.
Sort of had her...
Well, it was originally a movie,
okay.
and then they made it into a 10-episode series, and it's also, I will tell you honestly, that's my favorite one on the list.
Is that really?
I love Dear White People.
and by the way, if you want to see diversity done well on television, number 5, Master of None. Great Netflix series.
Yeah, overall I'm very proud of this list just because it does show off the diversity of television. There's a lot of streaming shows on there, which I think is surprising. TV is changing pretty rapidly, but at the same time the casts are changing, which I think is great.
Yeah, definitely. Alex Zelvin from TV Guide, thank you so much, Alex.
Thanks for having me here.
Climate change is a big topic on the agenda at today's G20 summit, and researchers say it's one of the reasons an island in Virginia is disappearing. Tangier Island is located in the Chesapeake Bay. It is only 1.25 square miles, and it's getting smaller every year.
Chip Reed recently visited it and reports from the banks of the Potomac River.
The Potomac River is a major tributary of the Chesapeake Bay, where climate change and rising sea levels due to greenhouse gas emissions are part of the problem. But the people of Tangier Island say islands have been eroding away in the bay for hundreds of years, long before the Industrial Revolution. They say only one thing is going to save their home. They want President Trump to build them a wall. Tangier Island in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay rises only a few feet above the surrounding waves. An hour by boat from the mainland, about 500 people live here. Since the 1600s, residents have survived on the bounty of the bay. Tangier produces an estimated 13% of the bay's prized blue crabs, more than any other town in Virginia.
My father was a crabber, my grandfather before him, and great-grandfather.
James Eskridge is the mayor of Tangier. His family has been here for generations. They've watched it gradually sink under the waves.
If we get a severe noise or something, you can make a mark where the shoreline is, and after a storm you go out there and the mark is well offshore.
It's happening that fast.
Happening that fast.
Since 1850, the island has lost 66% of its land. In about 100 years, it's all expected to be underwater. Evacuation of the island could begin in the next 2 decades. Researchers say one cause is rising sea level due to climate change, but Tangier's more immediate problem is something called wave-induced erosion. The island is literally being washed away by the waves and will eventually disappear.
We need help from the erosion. If it was just sea level rise that we were worried about, we would be in good shape.
Help looks like this, a rock wall. This one was built on the island's western side in the 1980s. The erosion here stopped. Now they say their only hope is a wall around the entire island. But it will cost an estimated $20 to $30 million, which they don't have. They'd like Congress to approve the money, and Mayor Eskridge thinks President Trump could help cut through all the red tape.
He's going to cut back on the time it takes to do studies for these projects. We don't have that time to play with.
Do you think if the president told Congress, I want to save Tangier Island, it would be saved?
I do indeed.
87% of the island's residents voted for Mr. Trump. Eskridge says that's in part because of his pledge to cut federal regulations. In June, the president took notice of the island's support and gave the mayor a call.
We have been discussing sea level rise, and he said Tangier's been here for hundreds of years and it'll be here for hundreds more.
The president's call triggered other calls to the island, but these were different. Some condemned the people here for seemingly agreeing with the president's controversial view of climate change. He has called it a hoax. One business received this message.
Donald Trump.
It was disheartening and it was upsetting.
Lori Thomas, who works for the town, said one man called to say that she and the people on the island deserve to die.
I think it lit a fire under everybody again to push and to contact our congressmen and
to try to save this island.
And to try to save the island.
Thomas says saving Tangier would mean preserving a rare and special way of life, a place where parents let their children roam free, to play in the streets, and swim at the docks. Regardless of whether climate change is man-made, you need something to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, we're to the point now that we need help immediately. We've been studied, and now we're to the point the island's going down. We just need the help to come now.
Mayor Eskridge says he is tired of studies. The last study of Tangier Island took about 20 years. And as you heard, that's about how much time they might have before they have to start evacuating the island. Stephanie and Anne-Marie?
That'll do it here for now. I will see you again Monday morning.
Our colleague Tony DeCopel takes over after a short break, so keep it right here. You're streaming CBS Ed.
When you at Modern
moderate to severe ulcerative colitis, the unpredictability of a flare may weigh on your mind. Thinking about what to avoid, where to go, and how to work around your UC. That's how I thought it had to be. But then I talked to my doctor about Humira and learned Humira can help get and keep UC under control when certain medications haven't worked well enough.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Raise your expectations and ask your gastroenterologist if Humira may be right for you. With Humira, control is possible.
You search, share, post, pin, tumble, you message, you snap.
It's amazing how many commercials you can put in one serving. Oh my God.
White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. It comes as the leader of the free world and the leader of Russia just wrapping up a meeting lasting longer than 2 hours.
So now we're awaiting the arrival of President Trump at the G20 reception, which includes the group's famous class photo. We're covering all the news happening now.
We look forward to a lot of very positive things happening.
A historic face-to-face on the world stage. What we're learning about the first ever
All about the money, huh? Corporate America for you guys.
and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Plus, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell signals it may be time to work with Democrats if his Republican colleagues cannot work out their differences over health care.
Exactly.
And the U.S. economy adding more jobs than expected.
Good.
But these new numbers come as questions loom about how robots will change the employment landscape here at home. It's all happening now. But we begin with this Fox News alert and history in the making as President Trump, the leader of the free world after all, wraps up his meeting with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Germany. Welcome to the second hour of Happening Now on this Friday. I'm John Scott.
And I'm Molly Line. The two leaders face to face, and who would not want to be a fly on the wall for that high-stakes showdown, which lasted more than 2 hours. It's the most anticipated meeting of the G20 and dominating headlines of the gathering of world leaders. President Trump saying many topics are on the table. Take a listen.
President Putin and I have been discussing various things, and I think it's going very well. We've had some very, very good talks. We're going to have a talk now, and obviously that will continue.
Meanwhile, the mood in the streets remains tense as protesters clash with riot police for a second straight day.
We have Fox Team live coverage from Hamburg. Greg Palcott is standing by with the latest on the growing and spreading protests, but we begin with Kristen Fisher on the historic meeting everyone has been waiting for. Kristen.
Dude, this camera like
Hey,
running.
John, well, it was almost exactly 2 years ago that President Trump said, shortly after announcing his candidacy, that I think I'd get along very well with Vladimir Putin. Well, today, at least on the surface, he seemed to do just that. President Trump told Putin that it's an honor to be with you. And Putin responded by saying that I'm delighted to be able to finally meet you personally. Now, we're still waiting to hear what exactly was discussed in the more than 2 hour long meeting that followed, but it's pretty clear that both leaders would like to walk away from it having achieved some kind of tangible result. Listen.
We look forward to a lot of very positive things happening for Russia and the United States.
I'm delighted to be able to meet you personally, Mr. President, and I hope, as you've said, our meeting will yield positive results.
And indeed, the Associated Press is already reporting that Russia is prepared to announce an American free trade agreement. Then later, as he was sitting beside the president of Mexico at a photo op, President Trump, if he still wanted Mexico to pay for the wall, and he responded by saying absolutely. So President Trump not budging one bit on one of his most signature issues, but we still don't know if he asked Mr. Putin about another separate key issue, whether or not Russia indeed meddled in the election that helped get him to the White House. Molly, John?
Kristen Fisher. We are watching live pictures from Hamburg of the President and First Lady arriving at the Hamburg Philharmonic. That musical ensemble will be entertaining the leaders who are in attendance for the G20 summit. You can imagine it is going to be a spectacular night of music. Molly among the members of that symphony as they are playing for, well, not just the most powerful man in the world, but really 20 of the most powerful people in the world.
That's right, all sitting in their seats there listening to Ode to Joy. So we'll see if there's a little message sent in there as these leaders take their seats tonight. Incredible venue, a new venue there, and also some meetings to be held at that new venue as well. Meanwhile, German police are calling in reinforcements for a second day of violent protests. Thousands of demonstrators clashing with riot police, throwing bricks and bottles at officers. The police responding with water cannons and pepper spray. Senior affairs correspondent Greg Palcott is live there in Hamburg with this part of the story. Greg.
Molly, it is a bit of a pause right now, but it has been tense on the streets just a couple of blocks away from where the G20 leaders have been meeting. That's my cameraman, Mal James, to give you a little bit of a tour. You're seeing a water cannon truck being rolled into the scene. Police in front of them, and then protesters in front of them. And this is what we have been seeing for the past 2 hours. Protesters doing battle with the police shooting out the water cannons, shooting out pepper sprays, the protesters throwing rocks, throwing bottles, getting in the way. We've seen injuries, we've seen arrests. In fact, police say that they've incurred about 160 injuries, and on the civilian side, it's at least 40. And we've seen reports of